Hey, we're back. They're back. They're running around acting crazy. These freaking dogs, man. These degs. As Brad Pitt, Snatch, call them degs. These freaking dags, man. They are over there going berserk. We're back. What have we done? We pulled the nose off. We're trimming and cutting. On a side note, one of the subscribers, Mitch Berry, he did a video. Actually, he did it on Stickman's Garage, where he trimmed he trimmed some weight out of a stock fender. Honestly, very creative as far as keeping it kind of where you gotta kind of really look at it to see what he's done. But he did get basically 2.5 pounds or so out of each fender. That's I want to say 2.5 or 3 out of each fender. That's 5 or 6 pounds, and you can't really tell that he did it unless you really know what you're looking at. Again, it's tedious work, probably not for everybody, but you got to get creative. Henry, do you have to be in that? Honestly, son. Honestly, do you have to be right in the middle of that? Okay, I'm doing a video. I know you don't care. What? And for the record, they have their collars on whenever we're not here. I just don't make them wear their collars when they're out here with me running around, so because they like to chew on each other and they grab and they'll choke each other out with their freaking collars. Hey, why don't you go play with your sister? Yeah, go get Shelbers. Go get Shelbers. Go on. So what are we doing? Well, we were trimming a little bit of weight out of the car, but we have got a ton of stuff that we want to do to this car. These things escalate. You start getting your creative juices flowing, your inspiration, your motivation, your mojo, whatever you want to call it. And you start going, well, I could do this and I could do that, and I've got this part and I've got that part. And then you start going, okay, slow down. I need to put all this stuff together. It is a Friday morning. Obviously, bad part about working at home is that, you're a victim of the weather. It's kind of shaky looking. Not supposed to rain, but shaky looking. It's Friday morning. We're racing Sunday. Our last track day did not go so well. Broke the throttle cable on the first pass, and that was disappointing. But it also offered us an opportunity to, maybe make a few more improvements, change some things to where, we're happier with the car. A lot of times that's what it boils down to. Making the car where you're happy with it, that you're, hey, I spent a lot of money on this shirt, but man, I just don't really like this shirt now that I've got it, So you want to kind of make it where you're happier with it. You like the feel of it, the vibe. How it runs, possibly. That's always a great side effect. Just making yourself feel better about what you're doing. And that's kind of the situation with us, is afford us an opportunity to kind of sift through what we want to do with the car and what our build, or my builds, whatever. They're always more or less about vision. Performance is always kind of at the forefront, but it's also, I've got to really like the car, like the LTD. You saw, if you've watched any of the LTD videos, where that car started, I was not happy with it. I was just whatever, and now I really like that car. It is literally my favorite car. Sadly for it, once something becomes like my favorite car, I kind of drive it less. But I've done a bunch of work on it, so I just wanted to change gears a little bit. The Love Boat, what we're doing here is going to push that a little bit farther back, because I can really only work on one at a time, and that's how motivation works. So that's going to be pushed a little bit. We're still going to do it. We're still working on it. We still have every intention of working on that car and doing stuff with it. We've got parts. We got enough work to do without buying anything. This car, we want to get it in a better place, and we're still sifting through where we want to be, but this car is really starting to kind of remind me or give me a vibe of, I had an 84 GT a long time ago. Everyone says, EFI guy. I was a carb guy. I had an EFI car and a carbureted car. And I ended up selling my EFI car because I fell in love with my 84 GT. And I raced it. I had a bar put in it. It had, I didn't spend a ton of money on it, pretty much what I do now. But I really like that car. And it didn't pan out. you know, the situation changed, stuff like that. But this car reminds me of that car a lot. It's starting to a lot, especially when I put a carburetor on it. It just reminds me of that car. And I can use some of the things that I've learned in the past to maybe make this what that car could have been. So it's kind of giving me that vibe a little bit. So what are we doing? We've got a ton of stuff. We're going to change. This is what we have. This is what we have plans for. We're going to change the gear ratio. Not right now, but in the end, we're going to change the gear ratio. We're probably going to change the camshaft. I have bought another intake for it because this intake's going on the Lincoln anyway. I bought another intake for it. We are probably going to put the ported heads that came off the LTD, the GT40s, or as I like to call them, the GT yees. Because, hey, they're ported and they got beehive springs. They actually work really well. I was very pleased with them. We're going to put them on here, and we're going to do a tubular K-member on this car. I think I said we're going to change the headers. We're going to change the ignition box. We're going to do a bunch of stuff, not all at once, of course, but what I would like to maybe try and get done, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, but I would like to try to, is have the K-member changed out because I'm not happy with the front struts on this car. It's all over the place. The K-member, front suspension stuff changed out. The headers swapped. While I got the K-member out, it's the best time to do it. The headers swapped, and I'm going to change the tack and shift light and maybe the ignition, and probably the ignition box too. Put the 6AL digital in it, or 6AL2, because it's got the built-in. I can just go ahead and use that. I'll swap back to the regular MSD once I get a two-step and a module selector. I just haven't got those yet. I don't want to buy them new because they're stupid expensive. I've been looking used. I'll find something, you know, it's just, you know how it is. So anyway, that's where we're at. So I got to finish up a little trimming here, see how I end up liking it. And we were going to do something with alternator bracket. Probably just going to put the stock one back on. I got to get to work is what it boils down to. So I got a throttle cable, not a new one, but an old one. Of course, I need to probably buy a brand new one, but I've never had one break. So, all right, well, let me get to work. This is a lot of talking already. So sorry about that. And me and the dogs, we're gonna get to work on this thing, and make this car great again. Oh, I also have some. I got an oil pressure gauge and stuff for it, so maybe we'll get that thrown in. Okay, this is gonna work better for me. I've had this Motorsport tack for, oh my gosh, I don't even know how long I've had it. It's ancient. I've probably had this thing, I don't know, 20 plus years, maybe more. I say ancient, man, that means it was in the 90s, so that's not really ancient, but I've had it a while, so I'm going to be happier with this than what I had. If you watched the, I guess the video before last, so I had the sun tack mounted here and the shift light. I got to be able to kind of see it without being distracted or something. And these dashes aren't real great for kind of mounting stuff in a way. But I will say this, the beauty of having a piece of garbage is that you just don't care. Or at least I don't. I mean, maybe that's why I love having kind of junk cars or whatever. Because I am by far a perfectionist. Henry, what are you doing? Henry's looking for something. I am not a perfectionist. Anyone that's watched this channel for any length of time can definitely say that. And I'm okay with that. I don't strive to be a perfectionist. I don't care about being a perfectionist. I can appreciate someone that's like that. I mean, David's kind of like that, and Michael, as far as they want things to be just so. I am not like that. I just kind of don't care. But I don't think it's laziness. I just think I can't be that way. I can't be a perfectionist. I can't even strive to do it because it's frustrating. And I don't want to be frustrated. I just want to have a good time. And I want my cars, I've always gravitated toward the ugly stuff or the creepy stuff or the stuff, not creepy, but junkyard dog looking, so, or whatever. So anyway, that's what we've got here. Obviously, we've got to wire it up. We've also got to, you know, this shift light this tack doesn't have that capability for a shift light. This is a standalone. You can see the pigtail right there. So we've got a autometer, you know, activation switch for it. So we got to wire that in. We've got to wire a tack up. Plus we got to change our we got to change our box out. We're gonna change the shifter. I know last time we did this, it didn't work out so well. We've got this is actually what was in the Lincoln. This button works. I checked it to make sure the button worked. So you know, maybe we'll have a two-step. That simplifies things. I can leave without the two-step. That's not a problem, but that does kind of simplify things. So you know, maybe we'll get all this done. I mean, I have all these aspirations. There we go. Clean that off. I have all these aspirations about all these things I'm going to get done, and then, which I've just learned a man's got to know his limitations, and I have plenty. So, being slow at work, I think too much. I'm kind of processing as I'm doing it. So I'm like, I wish I would have done that, or should have done it differently. So anyway, I think we're maybe just going to go ahead and do the box and do the selector, and we'll see where we're at that point. I got an idea for something on that, so we'll be back in a few minutes, but we're working on it. All right, this is where we are going to mount our selector. I know that this probably drives some people crazy, you know, that, oh gosh, you're just, you know, putting stuff everywhere and it just looks crazy, and you know, that's fine if it's not your thing. I understand, but it's my thing. I just like the mechanical aspect, the looking of stuff, just stuff bolted out, just kind of squirrely looking, easy to get to. I don't know. Don't ask me to explain it. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. How about that? On a side note, we've got that mounted. Now we're looking at, in this, I'm holding something with my hand. So in this area right here, we're going to have to figure out, do something with our gauges. And ultimately, I'm thinking that we're going to end up mounting like the gauges somewhere in here. I'll probably maybe do a plate or something. I'm not 100% sure. This is kind of snowballing into a thing. But on a side note, this is where we're going to mount our 6AL2. And this is perfect for me because one of my big issues with this box is being able to get to the switches on the fly. You know, like if I'm sitting in the burnout box and go, oh crap, that guy just blew the tires off. You know, and I want to run the two-step down or something. It's just not as simple as, oh my gosh, just let me do that. Now, technically, as long as I've got the tiny screwdriver and a flashlight or a light, I can adjust it however I want with it mounted right here. I can just set it, you know, a turn of the knob or a click of the deal, and boom, it's changed. So that is very convenient for me. And I think that might be a temporary permanent solution, which would be fine, because then we can just put the 6AL in the Lincoln, and we're probably going to end up needing another. I think I've got another box. I think I got another 6AL. We're probably going to need another one for something. So anywho, maybe one more after that. Golly, I told myself I was going to go less projects, and technically I am, but man, probably ended up with more than I meant to. So anyway, but this is where we're going to mount our box. That's where our shift light module selector is going to be mounted. We are probably going to do something here in this gauge area, or where the heater controls went. You know, we don't roll with heaters and AC. We ain't like that. We're, like I say, we're that guy that would have, walked in the Ford dealership in 1968 and said, I want the Cobra Jet drag package, 4-speed 433s with a 9-inch. You can keep the rest of it. Just paint it black. That's what I would have done. I don't need heat, air. I don't need none of that garbage. Radio, I don't need none of that. And for the record, someone made a comment. This is off topic, but someone made a comment about, hey, mate, you don't have to make every car a drag car. You can make a street car you enjoy it. I drive these cars every day.
I do not have like a regular car. Like, you know, like a lot of guys. Hey, I drive my Tundra or my Ford truck, or I drive my whatever every day to work stuff. I drive the Brain or Krusty. I mean, that's what I drive. I drive a Fox. When I say daily Fox life, I'm not just saying that. That's what I drive. I went to lunch today, took Brain, you know. Granted, when me and Teresa go somewhere like grocery shopping and stuff like that, we take her Ford Edge, but I don't just get in that and go somewhere. If I got to go somewhere, I get in my car and go. I drive it every day. No heat, no air, no radios, and none of them. And I'm perfectly fine. I don't look at anybody else's car going down the road and go, oh, golly gee whiz, I wish I had that and didn't have this. No, I'm driving what I want to drive. I'm cool. So, anywho, I'm cool with my, 11 miles a gallon. Stuff like that. But anyway, look at this. There's people out there right now just having an anxiety attack looking at that wiring. So anyway, that's where we're at. I know this stuff's getting so long, but hey, you guys like the long videos or don't like them? This is what you're getting. Whatever. I'm making myself not worry about things like that. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I'm just going to not worry myself with the editing and stuff. I'm just going to pump it out. And if you like it, you do. If you don't, you don't. It's cool either way, man. It ain't going to bother me none. All right. You guys have a good one. I'll be back in the next clip. We're going to put some screws in this, and then we're going to start moving some wires around. I do need to check into this gauge situation right here if I'm going to do it in that hole, because then I can't run a bunch of wires. We'll just knock that vent out right there and put some wires through that. Hey, look, I just had an idea. All right, I'll be back. All right, boys and girls, we are done. Well, we're not done, but we're at least got it all mounted the way we think we want. We took some thin aluminum that we had laying around, and we just cut it with some shears, and then we had a hole saw, of course not the right size, but good enough where we could, get our holes drilled and work it with the file and whatnot, and just screwed it in. And then we've got this mounted, got the wiring. I've just stuffed it through there. I haven't obviously wired it all up. We've got our MSD box mounted. We can get to our adjustments for launch RPM, which is nice. I need to check the rev limiter too. We'll have a rev limiter, no valve springs. We've got our tack mounted. So overall, while we have spent a lot of time doing basic little garbage jobs, we do feel better. We feel better about the car. I feel better about it. I'm already way happier with just the overall vibe, of the car inside and stuff like that. So, and that translates to the whole car. So, it's like wearing your, if you're going out, you wear your car shirt, and you kind of have your look or whatever you want to call it. So you feel good, dressed like $1 million or whatever. So anyway, we've got all that mounted. Now we just got to hook temperature gauge up, do the lights, and obviously do the wiring, but that's not going to take a huge amount of time since we've already basically kind of done it. So with the other box and stuff. So anyway, let me get that kind of taken care of, and we got plenty of other stuff we got to do. And I mean, we've spent a lot of time messing with this. So anyway, no big deal. It was fun. So all right, cool.
Okay, we haven't put our throttle cable on yet because we're going to pull. Seriously, because we're going to pull the carburetor off to do the jet extensions, and I didn't, want to put the throttle cable stuff all on. Anyway, we got it started. Of course, fun fact, since I don't have the throttle hooked up, I was trying to start it, make sure the box is wired up, working okay and everything, and of course it wouldn't start. So I get out to check spark. I hit the flip throttle a couple times and hit the key, and that thing lit me up. Wow. Woo. Man, my pinky's still humming. That thing is throwing some spark. Jesus Christ. I haven't been popped by a box like that in, I don't know. I mean, I was probably, let me think. I'm sorry. I know. I was probably I don't know, 18, maybe 18 years old, right in that area. And it had a Dodge Dart GT. had a 318. These dogs, I swear, these dags going crazy. Had a 318, you know, with aluminum intake on it, and headers, and, you know, seriously. And, hey! I got a full-blown, hey, saddle down. I got a full-blown production going here, and you guys, I know Shelby's freaking out. Hey, stop it. 318, 4-barrel, aluminum intake, headers, you know, your basic garbage. And it had an Excel super coil on it. Oh my God. I accidentally touched that thing one day and it was running, and it knocked me down. I was a little fella back then though. Anyway, so you can see the sun's going down. I mean, I hate wiring. I hate wiring as much as I hate editing videos. But we got it all basically done. All we've got to do now is just wire in the two-step. Put the shifter on, wire a two-step in, and at the very least we'll have the two-step tomorrow. My whole plans of that's out the window. Because we don't want to have the car where we can't race Sunday. We do not want to be in that situation. So we'll finish up some of the weight loss stuff and maybe do some whole saw. I don't know. I ain't really thought that through too far. We'll do that tomorrow, and we're gonna put aluminum drive shaft in it. It's not gonna make it any faster. Stop it. Not gonna make it any faster. But it's a little beefier than the stock unit. Got it. Just put it in. We're gonna change the transmission cross member. I've got some bushings. You know, no, I don't have to change it. I got some solid bushings for the cross member to subframe. We'll put that, and I don't know. There's a few other things I was gonna do. I'll do the jet extension carburetor. I don't know. There's a couple other things. We'll get to it in the morning. So this isn't the end of the video. We'll just move right into the clips in the morning. Hey, Rad's out here. Hey, you want to be in a YouTube video? Do you want to be like internet famous?
What?
Do you want to be internet famous? Come here.
Internet what?
I'm feeling. Do you? Jesus. She got she got eyes like a hawk and a hearing of it, or whatever. Unless I'm saying something, then you can't hear anything. Do you want to be in a YouTube video? Do you want to be famous, internet famous? No.
We'll let the dogs out.
Shelby just did a power. I mean, she like shoulder. She put her shoulder into you.
She did that on purpose.
That was great. All right, we'll be back in the morning. Are you good? Here, hold on. Good. I know they go berserk whenever someone goes. Oh, go Shelbers. He couldn't catch her on his best day. Get him, Shelby. Show him who's the boss. What? Go. Oh. She just got home from work. Why do you wear red shirts on Fridays?
Remember everyone deployed.
Military. Every Friday you got a red shirt on. Yep. For work. Sorry, I got you guys on your stand. Oh crap. Shelby, I can't even keep the camera up with her. She's too fast. She must have a 4-barrel. Obviously Henry's fuel injected. It looks kind of clumsy, kind of clunky.
Jake's car.
Yeah, Jake's car. All right, we'll see you guys in the morning. Go Shelbs. Go Shelby. Oh, get him, Shelby. Don't take that crap off him.